Okay. I'm Onyekachi Igbozuwike. I'm a mix of Igbo and Zulu. My dad's Igbo, my mom's Zulu. Um, my background, I was born and raised in a township. Well, I was actually born, okay, I was born in a hospital, but um, I was raised in the township, believe it or not, for like the first 12 years of my life. Um, I went to a small private school that was actually actually really good. Like now looking back and actually seeing, um, like it was a bit of a feeder school for some really expensive schools. So I didn't realize that until I went to came to Pretoria, rather. Um, Came to Pretoria when I was in high school, going into high school. Went to a school called CBC at first, and then I went to Pretoria Boys High, which is a very well known school in South Africa. It's one of those, but like not that expensive, but like, it was up there in reputation. So I've had an experience of both sides of the coin for sure. I mean, my mom and dad, they were like, the one thing that matters the most is education. Um, like the one thing that matters the most is education because we're trying to have them go to good school so that they can have better opportunities than us. And that was the entire premise. Like my mom would invest in us in our education. That was her thing. Me and Zippo and now Masese, you know. Uh, and yeah, what I do, well, I'm studying accounting, and I've been pushing a modeling thing a bit, um, and also getting day jobs as well. Just to supplement my income. A lot of my life has been around um, thinking about, geez, I'm so broke, and trying to fix that, and going out there and actually getting a little bit. It wasn't a lot. I was still broke, but like I was broke alone, and so I was actually good in a way because it was like um, everything that comes to me is for me. Like this is my room. This is my this is my job. This is my money. I need to spend it as how I see fit. Having that freedom was definitely cool. Uh, and you know, although things are expensive, you learn how actually durable it is to survive on little. You learn, like, especially for me, like uh, I learned that what I thought was money, right? To survive, like it's great, but you'll get there and you can survive on less than that. So that was cool. Oh, good question. Good question. I had to say no to a lot of parties. Yeah, I had to say no to a lot of parties, a lot of partying. I had to say no to because I'm like, I need to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, not only do I need to eat, I'm like, I need to work out. I need to invest in my body because I can't drink and work out the next day. I can't. I don't have the facilities for that. Nobody does. Your body literally it dehydrates you. Alcohol dehydrates you. So the next day you've handled, and you sleep deprived as well. You know, I guess with me it's a little bit of a different thing because of the modeling, but I think it's just a good thing to have anyway. I mean, with me, it was definitely super focused on um the health, like so trying to be at peak performance, so to speak. And I'm also into sports as well. So I mean that's also not wasn't very helpful. With that, I had to push it to the side a bit, just to uh having a job. It takes out a significant amount of time, sorry, out of your day, and you can't, like, you have to kind of make a sacrifice there as well. So I mean, I can understand, like, let's say the journey of for example UFC fighters who had a full-time job and were training. it's like it's a different ball game, that one. Like it's a different ball game because I mean I could just imagine the kind of tired you feel when you're 6 hours into a 9 hour shift, and you've been doing it for the past 4 or 5 days straight, and it's like, yo, imagine if I had training after this. You know what I mean? Like, it would be hard. But it's funny. I don't know if I lost a few screws or whatever, but I genuinely started to enjoy the struggle. Like, surprisingly enough, I genuinely started to enjoy it. It was a thing of, I know that there's fruits in my labor, so let me do more labor. You know what I mean? And get more fruit. Let's push things. It's like the more I got, the more I worked. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna work harder and suffer more because I know that clearly it's bringing something and it's bringing good things. So let me not even use this as a time to get comfortable. Let me get deeper into it because what's the limit? How far can I push things? Let's let's make more sacrifices. Let's work harder. Uh, and that was the phase I was in by the time I came back. And the phase I'm still in, like, although I've been back and I've had, to just chill, rest a bit, I'm still looking at the next thing because, with the job I was working for, I it's a portfolio of restaurants, so I can actually call them and be like, "Hey, I'm in Pretoria. If there's any jobs," and I don't mind printing out 50 CVs and handing out because I know what it brings. Like, I didn't even need to print out 50 CVs to get those job offers. Like, I think it was in total, how many CVs I sent out was the number was probably something between 20 and 25. Didn't take that much. It was focused. Like, the thing is, I didn't like just because rejection is kind of hard to take, and to take it consistently, because each thing I had to give my all on each presentation of my CV of myself. So I I had to um suck it up, or one, but like I also had to really, really, like, um strategically, strategically hit it. So I would think, okay, um I would get advice as well. Okay, so managers usually um they usually have time to prepare for the lunch rush between 12 and 1, something around there. And that rush, they're free. So I gotta hit somewhere with high volume and high intensity. So like between this time and this time, I'd be like, okay, I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna hand out. And I'm gonna hand out, I'm gonna present myself, I'm gonna wear a button down, I'm gonna show up looking good, I'm gonna smell good, I'm gonna make sure I'm, presentable. And my CV itself, like, working on it, because my mom and dad didn't necessarily teach me how to do a CV, and I would ask. I'm like, no, like, making it sound like they didn't care. Like, they did, but with the CV, they were just so unhelpful. You know what I mean? I was like, yeah, no, but you gotta, you should, like, just do this and that. And it's like, but that's literally what the internet said. Like, in a sense of, just write everything about you. It's like, well, yeah, obviously that's a CV. It means, what curriculum of your life, whatever circle of your life, whatever it means, like an analysis of your life on a paper. So obviously you write about yourself, but like, you've written plenty of CVs. So can you look at my CV and tell me what's missing? It took this man from America who was staying in the same dorm as me, who actually really, really helped. I remember his name, Scott Poindexter. He's from Colorado. I'm not lying. I'm not lying. Why?
Scott Poindexter.
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I know, right? I know. He's from like Colorado. He was on holiday. He saw my energy, in the sense of, there was a mess that was made, and I wanted to clean it up on behalf of the staff. He saw that, and he was like, "Yeah, let me help you." In the sense of, because I told him, looking for a job, blah blah blah. It's hard. He was like, the fact that you do that says a lot about you as a person. And I was like, you know, because to me, I only have two values in my life so far, and honor and integrity. So basically, anything I do, and it applies to work, I don't, um, I don't take shortcuts. I do extra work if I need to, and I show up for the team because it's not about me; it's about the team. Like that's how I'm inspired. That's what I was inspired to adopt. People like Tom Brady, for example, people who were like really in the trenches and then made their way out of the trenches through like effort and work, and like inspiring the people around them through their effort and work. And it's like, I want to be like that. But I mean, to answer your question, uh, which was,
balancing financial responsibilities with your social life.
yeah, I had to try and act as if I was trying to reach those levels. A network, and you have a network, a social network, a social, yeah, like have people around you, even if it's acquaintances, even if it's, um have people around you that actually care about you. Even if you just met them, you'd be surprised how many people can really take a shining to you if you show who you really are. I found that I know from personal experience, being in Cape Town, my first time, well, there in a while. Um, I didn't, you know, have any sort of net to catch me. No one knew me. By the time I left, now I literally have someone who I could go stay at their place for free while I, get my things going. Like, no, it's not just one person; it's two people. Like, I could, I have people who I found people who I aligned with, who cared, who cared about me, or who still cared. And it was like so helpful because when you're down and the other people who care about you, and they, offer their support, as minuscule as it, you might not even have to say anything about it. I didn't say anything about it. I just enjoyed it, and those little things helped like tremendously, you know. And I was surprised that people really appreciate my energy like that. Like, it meant a lot, um, for sure. And so I'd say that one, like, have a social circle, even if it's acquaintances. You'd be surprised how those acquaintances can help. Second, don't stretch yourself above your means in pursuit of fun. Like, fun is fleeting. It's transient. You will have a fun night, get some cool points or whatever, and then the next day, it was just a night that happened. And although there is utility, as Jordan Peterson would say, there's utility in, that's how you say it, right? But like, although there is use in having those points, so to speak, in a situation where there's like a big social circle made up of little social circles, and you're getting points or clouds or whatever, there's use in that. But it's not like you can achieve more on less, people wise. You can have more support with the people who really care about you, rather than trying to approach or pursue things with people who only care about what you're doing and how cool you're looking or whatever. So like, don't sacrifice yourself to look cool. Like, that's what I would say. Number two. And I mean, if I were to think of a third thing, I'd probably say, trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust your instincts. And also trust that you have what it takes. Because you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you were to um take a risk like leaving the house. It's a risk, especially if you haven't done it before. It's a big risk. You don't know what you're doing. You have to learn. You have to learn fast as well. And you have to learn while making mistakes, which is the worst part, probably. It's like you have to learn from the mistakes, like, from spending that extra whatever you spend. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you learn from those mistakes. You learn through pain. And it's like, you'd be surprised how safe you are when you're moving through those difficulties as if um as if you can bounce back from them. I mean, like, so that's what I would say. I just put the bulk of the money in the savings accounts, and then have a little bit in the check account, and then and then I'd make it hard for myself to access the money. You know what I'm saying? So that extra step where I have to withdraw from savings, I watch the money leave the account. I'm like, do I need this to leave right now? Like, do I need it to leave, or can I wait? So, because I've tried a lot of budgeting techniques, so to speak, not a lot, but like the ones that exist. So, a budgeting app, it didn't work. It didn't work. I overblew my. I've like shot my budget to hell like, quite a few times on that app. Like, it's bad for me. Like, I just couldn't do it. Um, I mean, what is another one? I mean, because I know budgeting apps. I mean, I know that maybe keeping score, like writing them down. I haven't tried that. I don't have the mental like, bandwidth or patience to do that. It's just like, I mean, I kind of know, like it's right there on the transaction list. Like I kind of know, you know, because I'm not a very like I'm tenacious and I'm driven, but I'm not necessarily a meticulous or tedious person. Like I like it when my environment supports me, so I can focus on channeling my energy into something. I can't um I can't exude, like I don't have a lot of energy to spend in a day, like compared to other people. Maybe I don't know if that's the way of putting it, but for example, I can't expend precious energy writing down, you know, certain things, from my transactions list to formulate a budget. I don't have the energy for it. It's not that I don't have the time for it, because I certainly do, but I just don't have the energy for it. I think when people say they don't have the time, they might mean they don't have the energy. Because like a time and energy thing is kind of like interlinked. Like it's kind of like a thing where, you know, you have a certain amount of time in the day, you have a lot of time, but you don't have enough energy. Because if you had enough energy, there's so much you could do in one day. Like, trust me, there's a lot you could do in one day. But the thing is, we're human. We don't have a lot of energy. We need to use the energy we have effectively. So I found that it works for me. Just take that money, like the money you get earned, take the majority of it, maybe 80%, put it in the savings account immediately. In the savings account immediately. Run on what you need for the week and go from there.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna try that.
I mean, if it works for you, like it works for me. Like literally, it really works for me because you see that money leaving the savings account, you're like, oh, oh, it hurts. It feels like you're drawing blood from yourself. You feel like it feels like you're like it feels like you're like donating blood. You're like, yeah, Is it really necessary? Ooh, the first time. First time was just how much I missed home. Because this was back in 2020, my first foray, my first year at UCT. I had no, like, I had, for some reason, I found myself feeling sad in my really, really SHIT um thingy res room, because I was sharing a res room and it was split up. I thought, I mean, it was a tough situation to be in, but I, it, although it was tough, there was like a washing machine that, like, like the clothes still smelt of like whatever, and there wasn't like a clothes line for all the clothes, so you buy your own, you have it in your room. It was uncharacteristic of me to be so sad compared to those like circumstances, because like those circumstances, yeah, they're tough, but like you can bear them, you can still survive. And then I came back, uh and then finding out later when I went to therapy that it's actually separation anxiety I was experiencing. I didn't know what separation anxiety was. It's like, now you were going through separation anxiety. I was like, what? And to be fair, now that I think about it, I was literally 17, turning 18 in March. So I was still very young. I chose to go to Cape Town because I was like, I want to go somewhere I've never been before. I want to start something, start my own thing where I've never been before. And how happy I felt when I came back, because it was lockdown, right? I felt so happy, like, not necessarily because I was back home per se, but because of how it felt to like regroup, re-strategize, and write down all my goals, and pursue them, and like play them out of my mind, and you know bring like start laying the groundwork. That was cool. Like that whole thing, where I would wake up, you know I would I even adopted the Ben Franklin daily schedule at some point. The one where you wake up at 5 and you do your work. Because I was thinking about certain ideas I have, which I'm still gonna implement, and it was great. I was at home. I was supported. It was like an incubator for those ideas. So that was great. Um, and that was probably the most surprising thing, that how much I missed home.
Yeah, that's actually, I didn't even think about the separation anxiety.
Yeah, and you wouldn't think about it because like you want to leave home.
I want to leave.
Like I don't want to be here anymore, man. And then you get in, like, oh man, kind of miss it. Kind of miss it. Like, yeah, even this time around being in Cape Town, like I was like, I've had my fair share of Cape Town. I'm gonna go back at some point, but I've I've seen like pretty much like most of what Cape Town has to offer. In terms of like specific situations, or certain levels. It's like I've seen enough. Like, trust me, meeting people who are like super rich or whatever, hang out in those circles, you see enough. It's like, wow, I mean, I don't really need to be in a specific environment. It'll probably happen just by, things falling into place. But I mean, I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything anymore in Cape Town. I don't. I didn't need to, because obviously, you have your IG crushes or whatever. I didn't even meet most of them. Like, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't need to, because the other girls I made it, and I was like, well, I mean, it's just, jeez, it's just like, it's not that deep. It's not that deep. You're not missing out. So that was a surprise for me as well. I've been like, well, I'm not really missing out on much. I don't feel like it, because um And then even with that, like I was starting to miss home. I was like, in a way, I was like, Cape Town is so right. Like right now, Cape Town is pretty much like it's not like how it used to be because of the prices driving everyone out. Like it's mostly tourists. So oh, it was mostly tourists because it was the season. It's like, yeah, this isn't what it used to be. It's not what it used to be. It's not. And I was like, Pretoria seems more real in comparison. I was thinking of it, like it seems more real, like more's going on, more authentic, um, more of the people, more of its people are there. Because in Cape Town, if more of its people were there, then I think there wouldn't be a problem of it feeling like a shell. But it did feel like a shell. Mm. Yeah, I disagree. I think that having a roommate, the right roommate, can be a very enriching experience for the both of you. Because that roommate can complement you in ways that you don't even realize or recognize or you wouldn't think of. Your roommate has, if it's a good roommate, has dreams of their own and is pursuing them because you two probably at least share the value of hard work pays off. So you would probably find that in your moments of self doubt or weakness, self doubt, you would real like your roommate would be there to give you a fresh perspective that you wouldn't otherwise get. Because I mean, sure, you can look at YouTube videos about the subject or whatever, but if you have someone actually living it with you, actually living it in their own way, it's very like it's not going to delay your personal growth. It's actually going to help it if it's the right roommate. If it's the wrong roommate, you're gonna both go out and party. But like the wrong roommate kind, although it's easy to meet that type of person, so I would argue that it's in the minority. Like strangely as it sounds, the ones who are not caring about where they're going, they seem to be everywhere, but it's because they're like really noticeable about how they move. Because most people, they just stick to what they're doing. They're not visible like that. It's only the visible few that would be out there wasting their life away. And yeah, I'd say that. I'd say that. Ooh, this is a, I like this one. I like this one because my obvious answer is cap, but it is useful. Like it is so useful when you have enough, to do that. But then again, it goes back to the whole money thing, which I don't like. I don't like it when money becomes the source of like money becomes the measurement. I hate that. I mean, my mom still does it, and I hate it. I don't like it at all because it like if money were everything, then surely you would like probably like try and hand me more to help me survive. If you are my mom like that, right? But like if it's about how much you can make on your own, it's like that's not the point, man. That's not the point. The point is surviving on your own. The point is actually getting something established on your own because money changes hands. It will come. If you're doing that, if you're putting in the hard yards and you're growing in your competence. I mean, your competence doesn't even grow linearly, it grows exponentially. The money is gonna come and it's gonna come in the buckets. You know what I mean? Like the better you get at something, you're only gonna get better in a way that like is like multiplied. like multiplies. It doesn't just go like add. Like it branches out. Like more opportunities are given. I saw a glimpse of that when I was in Cape Town. Like the more I was putting myself out there, the more I was getting. And it doesn't come like one for one. It comes like it was starting to get like that. You know what I mean? And it's still gonna get like that. It's on pause, and I'm gonna work out, get back in shape, and then literally back here in Joburg, I'd be in the Joburg division for a month or two, get some jobs there. I could fly down to Cape Town, do a job or two, come back. You know, it's not. It's gonna come. You know what I mean? And even something like modeling, where there is such a thing as competence. You know, your ability to pose, your ability to take the client's vision and then use your body to express it. You know, like that's pretty much what modeling is. You know, I learned so many things on the job, like about how to move my body, you know, how to try and convey. And I'm still not perfect when I'm growing, but like as I grow, even the opportunities that are coming now, you know, it's still more than zero. It's still more than zero, and like it's going to get way more. So I don't think you should have enough to furnish your own house, because when the time comes that you do have enough to furnish your own house, you'll have enough to do that and then some. You know, there's no point in keeping yourself small, or yeah, there's no point in keeping yourself small because you're saving up to have comfort like that. Because the comfort of that financial security is great, but I mean, if you think about anyone who's become the person who hires the person to whom they give a comfortable salary, they sacrificed that comfort for a time. That comfort didn't even matter to them. It was irrelevant. What mattered to them was their vision, their goal. You know, Elon Musk famously slept in his office at Tesla. I mean, he has enough to buy like all the houses. You know what I mean? He chooses to sleep in his office in Tesla, like the times when he would sleep in his, you know, when he'd had nothing and was starting. Well, had nothing. I know. His dad's rich. Cool. Had nothing. You know, showering at the YMCA. You can be rich, you know, still, you know, like as you're starting off, whatever. I'm just saying, like, the people who it comes to in buckets, they don't really care about it. They care about what they're trying to bring to life, what like the competence. They care about doing the job well. So I'd say focus on doing the job well, and the money will come. And you don't need to start with a fully furnished house to do that. You can start with sharing a room. Start from there, and if it really matters that much to you can even start it from home. You don't have to leave. If you really, if you really have to leave, then you should leave. But you don't need that much to start. Yeah, yeah, I love that. I hate it and I love it at the same time. Hate it and I love it at the same time. Yeah, I think that's definitely true. Like you'd be sitting there thinking, "Oh God, what if I fail and I have to go back home with my tail between my legs, nothing to show for it?" And then you think to yourself, no, I mean, I'm here and I have this going. Let me get through it. You find strength in yourself. Like as you face the parts of yourself that you don't want to face, you develop a sense of confidence that can't go away. Like it doesn't go away. As you hit those barriers, as you face those things about yourself that you don't like, and as you get through them, because like you'd be surprised, like I wouldn't even say overcome, just get through. Because overcome is sounds like, oh, you win. You don't always win per se. It's like but you do. but it's not like by over. It's not by like getting above it. It's about going through it. Like the things in my life that have given me the most confidence have been the things that remind me about how imperfect I am. The things that I've had to encounter and struggle with and grow in and grow through. Those are the things that are the source. Uh, that give me the sense of quiet confidence I have today, where I can just chill and know for a fact I've seen something like that that I've seen things before that can really come at you, and I'm still standing. So what's up? You know what I mean? Wow. I think freedom is a necessity, but also I think it becomes a necessity to move out at some point. It becomes a necessity. It's like I have to find like this. My soul will die if I don't move out. That's how it felt for me. Going to Cape Town was a matter of like the soul. I needed to go. Like when I went in December, like it wasn't it was about create going out there and starting to create a life for myself. With the opportunities that were calling from there. I couldn't do that being at home, being surrounded by the kind of, I guess, way my mom was trying to nudge me to go. And, still is still probably trying now that I'm back. But I mean, I listen to it and I'm like, well, I'm still gonna do it anyway. You know what I mean? Like you can't stop me, knowing now that I can't be stopped in terms of if I want to do something, I'm gonna do it. Because my mom asked me something. I remember she asked me in the car on my way back from Cape Town. She asked me, "Why can't you just focus on the accounting?" I was like, "Ah, man, you know what? You know what? You're right." Meanwhile, in my head, I'm like, I'm like, bruh, what only focus? The whole point of me doing this accounting degree and the extra stuff is so that I can set up to try and go to an Ivy League, do a postgrad at an Ivy League. I need a compelling story. I need compelling extracurricular activities. It's a prerequisite, man. It's a necessity. So I'm not like I literally just I avoided the verbal argument because I'm like the verbal argument has no use. It has no point. If I want to do it, I'm gonna do it. You can't stop me, and they know that because I've proven it.
Period. So, would you also say that you're not truly independent until you live alone?
Mm, wow, wow. I love that question. Wow, that's a good one. Makes me think. You're truly independent until you live alone. Yeah. Financial independence, I feel like, is overrated in how it ties to independence. Yeah. I think it's overrated because I'm still technically now financially dependent on my mom, but I very easily could not be, and I'll be fine. Like, I mean, like I said earlier, I do have friends in Cape Town who are willing to support me financially as I get back on the wagon. It wouldn't take me 2 weeks, of like earning at a job to garner in a decent salary for myself. My mom's point with saying financial, like of having me be financially dependent on her, quote unquote, is that support. I guess being at home, I won't have to pay for rent. I wouldn't have to struggle like that. It's like, yeah, thanks. I appreciate you, mom. That's kind of, I guess, the use or the point, you know, of that. While I do express my independence, because independence is like when you're not when you're not looking at the people who raise you's opinions to make decisions, like you actually making them of your own accord. Like you're doing those things. You don't need to be financially independent. It'll help, I guess, if they use that as a thing of like, okay, well, leave my house if you're not gonna listen to me. It's like, okay, fine, I'll leave. And if you have that set up or that base of people or even your own skill and you believe in yourself enough, it won't affect. I mean, it won't affect your financial independence for very long. And also another thing that I learned is when you are um, in the trenches on your own, struggling to survive, and no one's helping you, even your parents, like they're leaving you to do that struggle, and you get through it, you realize, yeah, I am independent. I don't need you to survive. I can do it on my own, which can be sad in certain contexts, like, oh, but I mean, it depends on what the prerequisite, what the setup was for you to even want to leave the house in the first place. If you were being told you need to get out there and make something of yourself, that's what was the case with me. I was told, why aren't you out there getting a job? Why aren't you out there getting a job? I was like, okay, I'll show you a job. I'll show you getting a job. And then I went to Cape Town and did that. You know what I'm saying? And it was hard. And like, it was like, I mean, I still have my gripes about that personally, but they don't like they don't affect me enough where I care too much because I'm like, well, I know I can do it, so I'll do it again, and I'll do it in a way that serves me. Because independence is when you take those decisions to serve your personal agenda, what you want out of life, and you have the strength to do it. And that strength is not going to be given to, like, it can be helped and fostered by the parents, but I mean, as we share kind of common things, and we probably share a sense of like they care, like they put that pressure on you that force you to like go out there and like excel and bring back the bacon. It's like, well, I will go out there and excel, but for me, and I will bring home the bacon, but for me. You know what I mean? Like, it's because my life, like my experience of this life is matters more than I even thought it does. Like, it matters so much that pursuing that and bringing home the bacon as a result is kind of the point of going out there. It's not it's not because you're telling me to. I mean, I left out of resentment of like this one time I left home out of resentment. And it was like a thing of I uh I don't regret it because I was feeling the way I felt, and I was like, that thing of going at it and winning matters more than them telling you to go win. Like, going at it and going through the process of winning or starting to win, it matters a lot more than like them telling you to do it. So I would say, yeah, financial independence. Well, I mean, it, I'd say that's true for the most part, except why, like, does it matter if you do have a home to go back to? You know what I mean? If you have a home, if you do have a family home where your parents stay, where you can go and like lay your head down, why does it matter like so much that like it's not true financial independence, because it can be financially independent. And if you love your parents that much, like you look at Michael B. Jordan or Anthony Joshua, who literally stay with their mom. They're as financially independent as it get, but they choose to stay with their parents. All right. I mean, I would say there was this guy named Michael I met, and he's really cool. And he said to me, man, he said, "Keep going, kid. Keep going." He said it like that. I was like, that's what I would say to the youth, anyone else who's gonna tune in, who is of our demographic. Keep going. Just keep going.
Simple and sweet. I like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.